Previously on BYL.
At about age 9, I began to notice that I could not use my right hand like everyone else. I was constantly called a lefty. In some cases, I was scolded for using my left hand.
In this episode, we will explore how different people responded to body shaming and other uncomfortable encounters that threatened the sense of self-esteem.
The part where genotype actually really got me to the point where I can say affected me so much. You finish university, people are getting married. People are expecting you to get married. And I will hear things like, you're a fine girl now, no marriage. I'll just do my face one kind because I cannot start speaking Igbo. That, no, relationship was not a problem. In short, the guys will always come. And I didn't have a problem meeting guys with AA. But who wants to marry a woman that they consider is going to die in a few years or days or whatever? They just conclude. So I went in from one relationship to the other until I got to the point where I told myself, hey, wake up. You're not getting married again. Fashy marriage, fashy the guys. Live your life. Then as time went on, I discovered, I just told myself, I said, it's time to work and make your own money so that by the time you have your money, you can take care of yourself, man or no man. And then, with time, I started learning also to if I get into a relationship, I try to keep my problems to myself. But ask me, is it the healthy way to keep a relationship? But then, you don't want to be seen as weak, so you want to portray strength. You will now start keeping information. To them, you're hiding things. No, I'm only checking if you are what they struggle. Then for some, if I don't just even want the guy at all, as you're coming, I just tell you straight, I'm SS, so that you can go. Just live in the name of the Lord. Don't stress my emotional life, you know? And I was like that for a long time, and I had my dad pressuring, because so later I understood he was just concerned about the fact that, so his first daughter, because she says that she won't get married or something, but he was also praying seriously I get married. So I won't let anybody talk to me about marriage anymore. I'll just keep to my own. I beg, keep to your side. Just leave that topic. Leave it, because marriage, for me, the talk of marriage was like heartbreak per second. The guy comes, when you are doing well, you have a lovely relationship, but suddenly this guy is going to disappear. And I had one say, my dad doesn't want me to be with people like you. Excuse me, I felt insulted by that statement, people like you. If your father is in the health line, why should he tell you people like you? You know, it was bad because at some point, immediately after graduation, it was difficult to get a job. My uncle would tell me, you are SS, I better sit there in the house. Don't go and start stressing yourself so that you do not go and die in the process or something. And it's not as if they're handing you money. They're not giving you money. Jesus, it is just total frustration. I actually got to the point where I was depressed. I can't remember the antidepressant name, but I remember I was given a drug that's the orange in color, one antidepressant, and I was on that drug for a while because I had gone through a series of heartbreaks, and you had my dad on one side telling you, get married, your mates are married, your mates are this. Oh my God. Then I had another auntie call me every now and then. Are you selecting? Are you looking for graduate? Must he be a graduate? Now I'm supposed to manage just anything. Oh, no value again. I cannot put a standard anymore. Became very difficult. My father would say the man you are waiting for does not exist. It's like you're waiting for God to create him. They didn't understand what I had to face actually to get to say you are settling down. They didn't understand.
Becoming a teenager, I would say I was supposed to actually have a foreknowledge of the teenage years of life I was going into, because I have older siblings, but maybe the gap also. They were in their world, I was in my world. So, and at that point too, my mom was also a bit ill, so she didn't really have time. So a lot was happening within me that I didn't even have enough nerves to share with anybody. So I was just there in my world. I'll be the one to imagine things. I'll be the one to analyze it. I'll do all the processing in here. So I'll go moody. I'll get out of it. So a lot happened in teenage years that I want to thank God that I came out stronger than I would have ever imagined. So, and I also say that friends also brought me out of my shell and also made me realize some things that my mind never went into. Yes, I came from a very strictly religious background. My parents were Christians, so we lived a triangular life. It was school, church, home, school, church, home. So that was how we lived. So, like I said before, when I got to secondary school, one of the very few friends that I had then was a guy, was a boy. And why? Okay, this is my seat and this is seat. So we had a lot of things in common. We used to share, we used to read novels, we exchanged novels. So I remember then I used to steal some books from my father's library, some Agatha Christie books. And I steal them because my father would buy us books that were age appropriate, but I'll go and steal Agatha Christie to read Agatha Christie. So we were exchanging. He was stealing from his father's library too. So those were the things that made us very close, and we would discuss. So when we read books, there was this guy beside me that would gist and share. So oh God, that if you feel it, there was this gap that it filled in me that okay, once we just got to school, we start discussing about books, about this and all that. So I think it was from a very wealthy home. So even at time when they travel and he's coming back, he buys books and he gives me books. So along the line, people started saying that it was my boyfriend. I didn't understand what it was. And that was where the battle started. So, and unfortunately for us, towards the end of the year, JSS1, we wanted to now do Christmas party in school and they wanted to do nativity story. So they made me Mary and made him Joseph. Trouble. So it was a terrible combination. So our fame went abroad and even beyond our school. And they also had this extramural class that we used to attend. So girls from St. Louis, from GCI in Ibadan, so they knew us. As in, they knew both of us. And sincerely, it was nothing more than books. So even my parents knew him, his parents knew me, our siblings knew each other. It was nothing more than books. So at times when you don't want to know the crisis. So I think from there, that opened my mind. So I was like, what are they even talking about? So for you to know how strong that was, about 7 years ago, before I got married, one of our old friends abroad said, Faith, you're not married. Are you still waiting for this guy? And I've lost contact with him as in, I left the school about 20 years, and I'm like, I've not even heard from him. So it was even after that conversation that I had to go and look for him on Facebook, and I found him out. So it was that potent. So from there, and eventually I also now found out that people wanted him, some girls wanted him. And it was like I was the one blocking. So but I didn't care, but I now had a lot of enemies, even more than friends. So it was a battle for me. Everywhere I went, it was a battle. So then when my mom fell ill, I had to go and live with my grandparents, with my younger brother, the last one. And we kind of shared the same sentiments about our siblings. So we had to go and live with our grandparents. So when I left, I never knew that the idea my friends or my schoolmates got was that I got pregnant and I had to run away. So that was, so I didn't know anything until, I had to come back to my family after 2 years. And my father said I had to go back to the same school. That was when I now saw the drama. So, and then I got back. Even in church, some of my peers in church, I wasn't accepted because they felt I went to have a child and I came back. So my parents shipped me away to go and have a child. Yeah. And now I'm back. So where's your child? A prostitute, this and that. Now, even the guy then, that they felt was the father of my child, we're no longer close. Because then there was no social media, there was no phone, there was nothing. We only exchanged letters once, you know. I knew how long letters would take then. So, and they're like, that's he has moved on to other girls. Now I have a bastard. That hit me a lot. And now coupled with the fact that when I go back, my father made me go back to the same school. I had to repeat a class. So they were not like my seniors. So to see who were my classmates as my seniors so I withdrew. Had a lot happening. I wasn't accepted in church, even in school. My friends, even this guy that used to be my friend, thought because I had gone to the village, I became a village girl. So a lot happened. Even now, because like I said, we had an extramural lesson that we used to attend then, friends from other schools. So like I said, I became popular in other schools. So that news of giving birth went to other schools. So even in my streets, in my area, one person will know another person. So it was like that. So I didn't really have friends. So I was just there.
I said something about people making fun of me, maybe just look at something. My own was more of shoppiness. It wasn't about the facial, well, no, there was no facial or color, whatever stuff attached to it. It was the fact that, you look more plumpy than the others. You know, they use the word, there's a way they will use the word fat in a very, how do I put it? In a very, very, distasteful manner. It's not, you won't like it. Listening to it is not, when it comes from an adult, I could take it. When it's an uncle, I don't frown. When it's an uncle making fun of me, you say things, it doesn't get to me. But by the time age mates or people who are just a little bit older than me start repeating the same, those same words that my uncles or aunties use. My parents never did that anyway. I can never recollect any occasion where my parents made fun of me based on the fact that, you look more chubby or you look more, they never did that. They never did that. But uncles, cousins, and so on and so forth. So when it's coming from someone who is much more older, it doesn't even touch my skin one bit. I just feel that, is it not uncle that is talking? But by the time uncle finished, the uncle and the aunties, then they know that they were doing me a great disservice. Because what you say, other people are listening to you, and by the time they leave, it's as if my name has been forgotten. Rather than call me my name, call me by my first name, you're not using that to describe me. And that I cannot stand at all. So it's kept me in my own kind of world, like stay in your world and all that. When I'm playing, I'm doing anything, and he wants to get to that, I just withdraw. Like, I don't want to, until that defining moment, the day that I got there, that no, you can surpass this, you can outgrow this, you can actually look in the face of the other person and say, you know what, you too, you are, what is so special about you? Even when you think you are the Miss World or Miss Universe, you also have an error. There's what, but I choose not to do that as a person. I feel that that's not, engaging in verbal battle, it's not the way to it. The best way was for me to just ignore whatever thing you're saying. Then I've also learned along the line, maybe when I became much more older, an older teenager, the first incident I narrated was majorly during my pre-teens year and early teen year. Then as an older teenager, I equally learned how to do self-talk. When you say it, things like, it's not me. I can just, sometimes they'll say you are grumbling, you're saying things to yourself. So even when those uncles and whatever, when you say things like that, even up till now, because I learned that along the line, that I can actually take myself away from every form of negativity, anything I don't want. You tell me I am big, I tell myself, no, I look the best. You tell me I'm this. So I see self-talk. So that's helped a great deal to build my self-esteem, because I just know that if I have to come out of this, I have to conduct self-deliverance. I don't need a pastor or an imam or any other person for that matter to do that. That it is I who need to deliver myself from these shackles of inferiority complex created by negative talk, not just self-talk, negative talks that the environment enabled. So that I'm happy, I'm glad today that, yeah, I'm still work in progress. Yeah, I'm glad today that I've made a whole lot of progress from where it was when I was a teenager.
Like, for example, I was just like a yes person. I never felt I had the right to say no. Like, do you get, like, I just felt like everybody was above me. Like, there is no no for me. Like, if you come to meet me for something, even if it's inconvenient for me, I'll say yes to you, because it felt like I just wanted you to like me, to like just, like, seniors would think they were bullying me, but it wasn't like, I would do it willingly, like, just yes. Oh, you want this, like, you want my food, oh, take it, it's fine. Like, okay. Of course, when I became a senior, I was nice, but I was mean. I was very mean. Oh, wow. If you step on my shoe, I'll slap you. I was so mean, like, I was just angry. It was like, I didn't express, like, all the, like, stress, frustration I'd gone through. So I just put everything into anger. Like, I was so angry. Like, if you had like, I think about it, I'm like, why did I do it? Like, I used to beat, the last person I remember beating was my sister, my younger sister. She was in the same school as I was. I beat her. God. I beat hell. Like, I beat her so bad. We both started crying. And then that was when I just realized, it was like, I just released everything on her. But then she didn't deserve that. But then, like, she's my family. So I released everything. Like, I beat her so bad. Like, when I was a senior, I was really mean. But I was also nice. Like, I was nice. Like, it's like when I beat the junior after, I come back to my senses. And then I call the junior. And then I buy, like, stuff like, okay, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I wouldn't say I'm sorry. Like, I wouldn't say sorry, but yeah, like my way of apologizing, like, okay, you know what, just come and, like, be my school daughter. I wouldn't want to beat you again. Don't do that again. Yeah, so I was a mean teenager, I won't lie. For a while, though. Like SS1, SS2. I stopped being mean when I became fat. I became so fat. So it was like I was sad. Like, I was like, really, the boy I liked didn't like me again because I was fat. And he would tell me, lose weight, lose weight. So yeah, it was a very sad phase for me. Super fat, like I went from like a size 10, 12 to like 16, 18.
What happened?
It was just...
Was it holiday or something?
No, it was like, okay, so when I entered senior class, it was like I wasn't doing too well. Like, I dropped in my academics. I'm like, something wasn't just right about that phase. Like, it was just like, my friends weren't acting right. Like, I had them as friends, but I still felt lonely. Like, I just felt like everything was not how I wanted it to be at like 13, 14. So like, I would just eat, like, wake up, eat, sleep, eat. I would eat like 3 Scotch eggs in a break time and drink. Like, I was always eating. Like, even when I'm not hungry, I would eat. Like, just eat, because when I'm not supposed to read, if I try reading, and then I didn't understand, I would eat. So eating was like my go-to, and then all of a sudden, I was like, oh, so you're getting fat. And I'm like, I know I'd lose weight. But eventually, it was like, I just became like a size 18. And then it really, really dawned on me when I had to buy a new school uniform, and they were like, oh, we have to measure you. I'm like, oh, wow. I didn't see this coming. But I wasn't trying to even do anything to lose the weight. I was just like, I'm here. I'm going to live with it. But it was sad. It was sad.
We all respond differently to an attack on our self-esteem. Some spit fire for fire. Others withdraw into a shell, while some just keep bottling it all up. How do you respond when your sense of self-esteem is threatened? Next on BYL.
Like I always say, I always thought that, you know, my destiny was you do your first degree abroad and then your master's abroad. Not lie. By the time I got to that point, I got admission. Once again, we don't have money. So I did my Nigerian education. Shout out to University of Lagos, proudly a graduate of Unilag. I finished that and I said, okay, fine, let's go and do masters now. At least, same thing, we don't have money. And I think that at the time I was blossoming in the media industry was also at the time where many quote-unquote IJGBs, I just got back, so they're coming back. So it was very easy to go for an audition and everybody is just spraying phonetics like I say, Father, this is the problem. This is your very problem right now. You see, if only you are just maybe 2 days would have helped your destiny, you know.